If you ask almost any group of players to tell you what they know about hitting, from the basic level player to the elite player, they will be telling you about physical mechanics. A few may throw in something else, but the overwhelming number of comments will be about the physical part of hitting. We have to keep in mind that hitting is mental, visual, and physical. And the key component we're going to look at today is the visual part of hitting. We hear the things from the players like keep your eye on the ball, watch the ball. Those will be the things they do tell you sometimes about the visual aspect of hitting. To be honest with you, I don't really care if they watch the ball. I don't really care if they keep their eye on the ball. Here's why. How many of you and how many of them have sat in a meeting or in a classroom with their eye on the front of the room, keeping their eye on the teacher or the speaker, watching the person presenting the information, and not seeing anything, not remembering anything that's been talked about? Probably happened to you within the last week or so. How many people watch the words on the page of a book, keep their eye on the page, and when they get to the bottom of the page, can't remember what they read? I bet that's happened to you fairly lately also. It has to me on many occasions. Our job is not to watch the ball, keep our eye on the ball. Our goal, our object, what we must do to be successful is quickly collect, gather, study, learn, whatever you want to use for the word. I'm going to say collect. You've got to collect complete, accurate, appropriate, useful information. You've got to do that quickly, and you've got to do it accurately under stress, tension, fear, fatigue, frustration, and whatever mental situations are on the scene at the same time you're trying to collect that information. I first got very involved with the visual aspects of hitting when as a young college baseball coach. I worked one summer for the Kansas City Royals Baseball Academy. This was in the early 70s. And I found out very quickly that vision was one of the things they were emphasizing. The Royals Baseball Academy was a project of the Kansas City Royals and lasted for just a few years. It was an innovative think tank where they challenged the traditions of professional baseball instruction. They questioned everything. They constantly asked why. Instead of just doing it because it was the tradition, they asked why. And one of the things they found out was that the eyes lead the body. So much time was being spent on physical mechanics and physical aspects of hitting and fielding and base running. But before you can do any of the physical, you've got to collect the information. That comes through the eyes. You analyze it and you make decisions with the brain, and then the body carries it out in action. So it all starts with the eyes. What visual information do you have? The eyes lead the body. For the first week we spent with a professional signee, our only instruction to hitters was see the ball well. Very important advice. You must collect accurate, complete, appropriate, useful information, and you have to do it quickly in this game of softball. At the same time, I was fortunate enough to be an assistant baseball coach under Jack Stallings, a very insightful, one of the top winning coaches in college baseball for a long time, who was at Florida State and Georgia Southern, earlier than that at Wake Forest, but a very insightful coach. He taught me that to be a very good hitter, to actually be a great hitter, you only need a pretty good swing. Now, that sounds kind of odd. We think everybody has the great swing that's the great hitter. It's not true. There are flaws in almost everybody's swing. To be a very good hitter, you only need a pretty good swing. The pitcher doesn't actually care if you have a really nice swing. The fans do. The coaches say, oh, she's got a great swing. But that's not always the great hitter. The swing must go to the right place and get there at the right time. Pitchers love hitters with great swings at the wrong location or at the wrong time. That's why the rise, the drop, the curve, the screwball, the changeup are what gets the hitter out. The pitcher does not have to fool the hitter. The pitcher has to fool the hitter's eyes. Players do not swing the bat at the ball. Players swing the bat at the spot their eyes tell them the ball will arrive. And they swing with a timing based on when their eyes tell them the ball will arrive. So the key to the hitter is not having the fantastic swing. That's helpful. The key to the hitter is getting good, quick, accurate, complete, useful information, and then taking the bat to the appropriate place. Hitters often swing where they think the ball is and it's not there. Hitters, again, they don't care. The pitchers don't care if the swing is good. The hitter might, but the pitcher's concerned, does it get to the right place? The eyes are the key to that. Make sure we emphasize the collecting of the visual information. Today we're going to show you some physical ways to improve vision. We're going to show you visual drills. low-tech practical drills that can be used and high-tech computerized drills that can be used. Ways to fix the actual visual aspects of seeing, sport-specific, hitting-specific aspect through computerized programs, but also ways you can do very easily at your practice with no equipment. We're going to show you how to warm up the eyes before practices and games. We're going to show you drills to improve the collection, to make it quicker, to make it more accurate, to collect the right information. We're going to show you a lot of hands-on drills that your players can use so that they become better hitters in the games where it counts. As we do this, there's going to be some points of emphasis. I've already said a couple of those, but let's look at those again. Make sure you emphasize that the key component here is the quick, accurate collection of complete information, accurate information, the appropriate information, and useful information to the hitter. That's the key component of all of this. That's the foundation. Make sure that this occurs under game-like conditions. It's easy to do a drill in practice when everything's relaxed. Often in the game, things are crazy. The world's going too fast. You're frustrated. You're angry. There's fatigue. There's stress. There's tension. There's all types of things going on. Hitters must learn to see under these conditions, in that environment. Learn to study the ball, not just look at it, not just watch it. When the teacher asks somebody to read pages 16 through 42, they're not saying read them. They're not saying watch the words go by. They're not saying keep your eyes on the word. They're saying to look and learn, to study the words, to collect the information. Keep in mind, the eyes lead the body. Now follow us right now as we show you how to improve your player's ability to collect and use that information.